think like without the community, none of us would be here.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I think one of the biggest motivators for us as a team of experts is generally being able to give back and like seeing like, you know, these aren't just, you know, like from a brand's perspective, these aren't customers. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more. These people have families, they have kids, partners, and, you know, like going way back to when we first started within e-com, it's like you have a purpose, you have your goals of why you want to do this and what you want beyond that as well. And I think it's nice to see someone come on board that's skeptical, that's taken a big leap of faith.
I'm still looking at new YouTube videos coming out. Oh, there's been a LinkedIn update. Well, I need to learn that so then I can then pass that on. And yeah, just being open-minded with everything. Give everything a try. Yeah. Like if you know, a lot of members will come in and go, right, this is the one path I'm going to do. Open your mind up. You know, what else can you be doing? There's always more. I think that's one of the biggest things, and probably slightly off topic, but one of the biggest things I see from a B2B and B2C, what I'm speaking to, obviously James, Anthony and stuff like that is, okay, such and such is running your ads or such and such is running your emails, but what more can you be doing? Because you can always be doing more. Yeah. And I feel like that's one huge thing is, okay, well, let's just say I'm running your emails. Well, can you then go on Instagram? Can you go on LinkedIn? Can you do, can you reach out to companies in other ways to find that? Can you walk up to companies and just say, look, do you need X, Y, Z? There's always more you can be doing.
I think like going right back to the beginning as well, like getting started is generally the hardest point because you are, like what you said, the 2 feet, you are jumping into something that the majority of people have no experience. Yeah. And it's always like we're talking about mindset, and this might contradict itself, but it's always the sense of like deep down and in the back of your head, you're not actually going to know if it's going to work or not, but you need to be in that mind frame of, you know, I'm going to make this work. Alex, so in this podcast, it would be good to discuss why people fail during business and all the stages where you can.
100%. I feel like we've got good knowledge from a B2B and B2C point of view to give a good opinion on where we think and where we've failed before as well, because obviously we're not perfect.
100%. I think with failing, you can fail before you get started. Essentially as well, like a lot of people, like we always say, getting started is generally like 80% of your journey. Yeah, a lot of people in their lives, and it is quite sad, will never ever get started. Like and like once again, I was in this position at one point in my life where, you know, I was working, I wouldn't say comfortable, I was struggling, but I was working and it was just a routine, you know, day in, day out, month in, month out for years. And when you get opportunities put in front of you, you get two types of people. The people that look at that and probably judge it, or they're like, that's not going to work. Do you know what I mean?
I think mindset's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's a caveat as well, just before we even go into it. Just because you failed doesn't mean don't ever give up as well, because it's how you learn from them failures. Because we've both failed, but it's how we've learned from them to then progress. But yeah, I think mindset's huge. I feel like if you go into it from a negative standpoint, you're only going to get negative outcomes. Yeah. And I generally think if you go into it like 2 feet in basically and just commit, then I definitely feel like you'll get the rewards off that. Yeah.
And mindset, like you could ultimately say, mindset is 100% going to determine whether you fail or succeed as well. Yeah. Because like you can't have a skeptical mindset doing something. That's like me. It will happen at one point, but like me going to the gym and basically being like, oh, like, you know, I want to get fit, but it's probably not going to happen. What am I doing there? Yeah. You know, you want to be the sort of person that when you go to the gym, you're like, right, you know exactly what you want to do, put the work in, you know, really push yourself. And it's the exact same with business. Like, don't jump into a venture, a business journey without the passion of I'm giving it everything that I've got. Because what is generally the point?
Yeah, right? You could have a bad mindset, but all the skills and you'll fail. Yeah. But you can have a good mindset, a really positive mindset, and not have all the skills, but you will make it. You make it work.
Yeah. One way or another, you'll make sure it works.
Yeah, because the mindset is going to pull you through. Because it can get lonely. We have members all the time who are not necessarily told their families or told their work that they're doing this because they want to escape their 9 to 5 or whatever it is, and it's how they proceed with that sort of positivity. And it is hard. It can be lonely.
Yeah.
It can be difficult because you feel like you're on your own. But that's why you guys and how we've all created the community is so that like-minded people will succeed.
That's it, yeah. And I think like going right back to the beginning as well, like getting started is generally the hardest point, because you are, like what you said, the 2 feet, you are jumping into something that the majority of people have no experience.
Yeah.
And it's always like we're talking about mindset, and this might contradict itself, but it's always the sense of like deep down and in the back of your head, you're not actually going to know if it's going to work or not, but you need to be in that mind frame of, you know, I'm going to make this work. And one of the good aspects of that with what we do is we have a big community of people that have been in that position, people that have came through and joined us and wanted to build a better life, that were probably skeptical and probably scared, and they're now, you know, running multiple successful businesses. So, you know, the thing that would give me the comfort in joining a platform like us would be looking at the actual people in it.
100%.
It's the same with like any business. As like I think the people, the customers, or like the people of any product or brand or business, everything they're mainly the people you want to look at. And it's a form of product research I do as well. But like, you would never see a business, if we were selling a vape as an example, you'd never find a business that would be, oh, you know, this vape is one of the best vapes ever, you need it, the color's great, the flavor's amazing, the battery's pretty crap, but look, the rest is awesome. The business is never going to say that. But when you look at the reviews or like what people are saying, they will say to you, look, Alex, this vape's awesome, flavor's really good, but the battery ain't the best, but look, it's nice, go for it. And you would trust that a lot more in that sense. And I think from what our community is, you know, talking about, and you know, the success and the brands that are being built, you have all the positivity and the stories there. Yeah,
and that's the great thing about the events that we hold is, and I get asked all the time, you know, from members who haven't got a business yet, or they haven't succeeded yet. It's like, oh, I don't see the point of coming because I haven't got a business, or haven't succeeded. And I think, well, get yourself around like-minded people and you will create a business. Or we've had so many members who have formed partnerships just from events. And the networking days that we do and stuff like that. So yeah, no, 100% agree. I think what the community is and stands for is amazing, because it's like-minded people who are all here to make something of themselves.
That's it. Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like you won't struggle, but a lot of people are trying to get away from what they're doing existently, so they don't have anywhere else to go. And the fact that this whole community has been built off the back of that, it's huge.
It's incredible. And I think like without the community, none of us would be here. Do you know what I mean? And like, I think one of the biggest motivators for us as a team of experts is generally being able to give back, and like seeing, like, you know, these aren't just you know, like from a brand's perspective, these aren't customers. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more. These people have families, they have kids, partners, and you know, like going way back to when we first started within e-com, it's like you have a purpose, you have your goals of why you want to do this and what you want beyond that as well. And I think it's nice to see someone come on board that's skeptical, that's taken a big leap of faith, and you know, let's fast forward a few months, a couple years, they're now living life on their terms. And when you look at that from a whole, it's like, that is incredible. 100% incredible. And I think going back to obviously the you know, the parts where people can fail, I think it does vary, because I think B2C and B2B, and I don't know if this is worded right, but I would say it's generally down to each individual to be successful. It's the way I describe it, once again, it feels like all I'm doing is talking about the gym. I should probably go soon, shouldn't I? But like going back to the whole gym scenario, it's like you can buy the best PT, you can buy, you know, the best diet plan, the best food, the best equipment, the best everything, but you still need to get to that gym, show up and put the work in and work hard and stay consistent with that. And it's very similar to like what we do here at Change. I think, you know, you're buying in, from my opinion, from what we can see as well in the community, you're buying into one of the best possibilities of creating an e-commerce success.
100%.
But if you're not consistent, you don't put the work in, what do you expect is going to happen?
And one thing I think about the other day is it's leaving your ego at the door as well.
Yeah.
Because we have as in from a B2B standpoint, B2C and everything else, is we have literally labelled out, we've shot training, all the footsteps you need to do to get there. Yeah. And I've even done this myself recently. I've just launched a brand myself from a B2C standpoint. So complete different to what I'm used to, just because I wanted to give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have a clue about labels, printers, shipping, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, like obviously I thought, right, branding, marketing, testing the concept, putting the logo on your brand, all that sort of stuff. I was quite happy with that. And then it's right, how do you fulfill an order?
Sales come through, like,
yeah, well, what do I do now? What, I've got to pack it up and then actually go to the post office, send it.
Yeah.
Well, how do I get the name on there? Do I have to write it on all this sort of stuff? I had to jump on a call with James.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, and he had to talk me through it. And that's like, if I would have gone in and thought, no, I know everything, that, you know, I don't need to do that, I'd have been useless. But you leave your ego at the door and you learn, and all the training's been done for a reason. Is because from a B2B standpoint, we have been there, so we know what it takes to get there. So if you literally follow the steps that we outlay, then you're gonna get the results.
That's it.
One way or another.
And with the training as well, it's organised to work in a certain way.
Yeah.
We don't teach you sort of like, oh, when you first jump in, this is marketing, but this is how you source a product, and then this is how you make labels, and then this is how you build a brand.
Yeah.
Everything is formed nicely to take you along that journey. And I think going back to like the whole ego thing, like we do see it now and again. It's not quite often, which is a nice thing. But I think like even now in the position that you're in, literally like what you've just said, the position that I'm in, like I'm still able to ask for help,
of course,
in certain scenarios. And I think no matter how successful you ever get, you should never ever be afraid to, you know, pick the phone up or drop an email or a message
100%.
to someone and be like, look, mate, not 100% sure I've done this right, but can you jump on and show me and stuff like that?
It's been open-minded, isn't it?
That's it.
I'm still looking at new YouTube videos coming out. Oh, there's been a LinkedIn update. Well, I need to learn that, so then I can then pass that on. And yeah, just being open-minded with everything. Give everything a try.
Yeah.
Like if you know, a lot of members will come in and go, right, this is the one path I'm going to do. Open your mind up. You know, what else can you be doing? There's always more. I think that's one of the biggest things, and probably slightly off topic, but one of the biggest things I see from a B2B and B2C, what I'm speaking to, obviously James, Anthony and stuff like that, is, okay, such and such is running your ads, or such and such is running your emails, but what more can you be doing? Because you can always be doing more. Yeah. And I feel like that's one huge thing is, okay, well, let's just say I'm running your emails. Well, can you then go on Instagram? Can you go on LinkedIn? Can you do, can you reach out to companies in other ways to find that? Can you walk up to companies and just say, look, do you need X, Y, Z? There's always more you can be doing. And I think that's what sets the people who get results to the people who, you know, make life-changing deals, or from B2B or B2C. It's, well, what can they be doing proactively? And I definitely think that's not one reason why people can fail in business, because I don't think that's going to be the point of difference, but I think that's how you can really make it in business, is, you know, being proactive. I think that's a big door, and you need to make sure you get past that. I think 100%, because like you have certain areas, like during the whole e-com side of things, even in business in general, where like there's some things you can't really fail on. Do you know what I mean? Essentially, or the fail rate's very low, but there are things like a small slip up can spiral you out quick. And I think some of the big areas that I think people fail on themselves rather than the business is giving up too quick with an idea. Generally, there's companies out there that sell cow stuff. I don't know if I can say it on here, but that sell cow doodle, and they're like 6-figure, 7-figure brands. So it's like, surely if someone can sell that type of product, you could sell anything. Of course you can, And it's always like, you know, you could have the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to market it, you're not going to make sales. On the flip side, you have the worst product in the world, but if you know how to market and you know what you're doing, you will make sales. There'll be a customer for it. 100%. There'll be a customer for it, 100%. And I think from one of the standpoints, and anybody watching this, I think no matter how things are going within your business, there's always so much to try. I think if you try X, Y, and Z and it doesn't turn out how you thought, or it's taking a little bit longer, that's the phase where you now have the chance to throw the towel in and give up, and then say it doesn't work, or this business didn't work. I also think a lot of people will overthink things.
A lot of time. That's why they give up.
Yeah, and that's why they give up. They feel, it doesn't work. B2B, all right, it's quite simple. If there's a problem, what is the solution to that problem?
Yeah.
That is what B2B is. It's a solution to a problem. Well, when you're going on LinkedIn, that's what you need to talk about, is why your product is a solution to that problem. And then what you're doing is then proactively searching for people with that problem and saying, here's a solution. That's it. That is basically the bottom line. But I think people can overthink it.
So I think with that, if you keep it, like it's simple the way you just said it, and if you keep it as close to that simpleness, there's not much that can go wrong.
No.
With it. It's just stay consistent, keep going and stuff like that. And it's the same with B2C from that perspective as well. Like, you know, you can build an amazing store, have amazing products and stuff. Most of the time it's the marketing phase people struggle with, because it's like in order to sell something, you need to reach the right person that's willing to buy your product. So that is the marketing phase. And a lot of people will, you know, spend a lot of time building the brand, the business, getting the content, which, you know, fair enough, you do pour your heart into it and it takes a lot of time, effort, money, everything there. When you publish your ads, people seem to expect results like that instantly. And it's like, unfortunately, it's not.
Well, this is where I was saying, what more can you be doing?
There's a lot
more you can be doing. So one thing I'm quite obsessed with at the moment is how quickly can you become credible? Right? What more can make your website from a B2C point of view or B2B standpoint, how can you look more credible? Charities, working with charities, can you enter into awards? Can you partner up with other companies, big name companies? There's so many different aspects that you can do to help you, because even from a B2C standpoint, if someone comes into your store or website, all right, and you don't look credible, well, they're not going to buy from you. It doesn't matter how many ads you've got running or what the ads look like. If you go to your store and it just looks rubbish, and just doesn't look believable, then why would they buy from you? You know, what credibility factors have you got? Just basic things from a B2B standpoint. Have you got an email on your website or a simple phone number? Like 9 times out of 10 people are not going to call it, but just having a phone number on there is one of them little credibility factors. Loads of little things like that can help. And I always think, what more can you be doing? Well, that's definitely something.
That's it. And even like any business, there's always, you should, and I'm a strong believer of it, like you should never be in a position where, I don't know, you open your laptop, you're like, right, I've got 2 hours, let me do some bits of, you know, my brand. And you get there and you're like, oh, there's nothing to do. There's an issue there if that's where you're at, or you don't know what to do. With a brand, a business, like just on the top of my head, multiple ad campaigns, multiple ad sets. If you ain't got much of a budget, one ad campaign, multiple ad sets. And then going back to the content, get enough content to fit different types of audiences for the ad sets. If you've done that and you're backlogged with content, great, that's done. Like in my opinion, I wouldn't spend any more time there. I'd let that run. I'd go back to the store, right, can I expand my product collections? Can I look at other products to add in? Or, you know, actually let me spend the next hour looking into competitors. What are they pushing? Let me sign up to their email list. What are their best sellers? Let me use maybe some spy software and see, you know, what they're selling. Can I source those products? If so, what suppliers? How do I get them on my store? Let's prep next week's email campaigns. So I think like for someone to say like, oh, there's not much to do, it's not really working, you've given up already, I think.
100%. And to flip side that, I was having a call with a member this morning and they were getting overwhelmed with how much work they had to do. And I think I said to them, look, you need to just strip it back, right? And start writing to-do lists. Simple as it sounds, notepad and pen. Right, let's just say there are 10 things they need to do. Okay, right, out of all them 10 things, list them right. The first, not literally the first on there, but asterisk them, star them, 1, 2, 3 amount of priority. Right, and the number ones you need to finish in the next hour or two. Get that done first, that's the priority. Everything else can then wait. And I think one thing, especially because there is a lot of training, there's a lot to do. Trying to think what else advice maybe you could give to stop members getting overwhelmed, because I can definitely see that being a factor.
I think this is something I don't normally do on like a podcast or anything like that, but the blueprint that I follow is like, it's burned into my skull. I've done it so many times with it. So the blueprint I generally follow is, the first step is you choose your business model. That's the first step. So step 1, business model. Let's figure out the niche and then we figure out the products. Step 2 would be, am I going to brand this, white or private label, or go into drop shipping. Once I've figured that out, maybe I need to browse both and see what quality of products there are. Once I've figured that out, if I'm doing branding, if I'm customizing the products, there's going to add a few more steps on to this. And this is now, obviously, I need to track suppliers, I need to find suppliers, get samples, test them. If I'm doing drop shipping, sweet, I can crack on the same day, find some suppliers, maybe get some samples on the way. The next step is branding. And once again, we've got expert Anna you can work with in terms of branding. So you could work with Anna. Once the branding's done, it's then focusing on the store. With the store, you want to make sure that step one is competitors for a start. Let's get some inspiration. I'm normally brain dead at a computer when I'm looking at it these days. So I'm sort of like, right, let me just browse random stuff. If I'm doing a pet store, I'm probably on Adidas, like looking at just features, sections, like what looks cool. And then how can I extract that and replicate it in my own brand style and push it out there?
Take the best bits out of loads.
That's it. So we focus on the store, we get it all set up. Once the store's ready to go, but hopefully by that time your samples are arrived, you can test it, confirm it's good. If not, get some more samples, keep repeating that process till you're happy. Then we focus on the last bits of the store, which is final checks, which is in our Shopify hub, where you basically do all the back end stuff, the fun, boring stuff, I like to call it, but it needs to be done. You've got emails, SMSs, we settle that up. Next step, content, and that's the main focus. Create the content, either we use UGC content creators, we get some cool AI content. I'm loving AI, a bit too much at the moment. Focus on some AI content, get a nice professional mixture of both. Move to marketing. Half the time I don't really know what I'm doing marketing, so Anthony will jump on the call with me. But look, Anthony's great. I'm decent at marketing, so we focus on the ads and then we keep pushing that way. Anything we need to do, I can always go back to one of these steps. But the whole concept of that blueprint is like me saying that, and someone watching this might think that's actually fairly simple. It's straightforward. It's literally a bunch of steps. But the whole logic behind me following a simple blueprint is whatever obstacle pops up or whatever issue occurs anywhere, you got a 3-step rule. Why did this happen? How do we fix it? And how do we get past it? And when you get past it, you're back on track every single time. Sometimes it's happened to me before, like 3 times in a row. Obstacle, why does it happen? How do I fix it? Get past it. Oh crap, another obstacle. You keep repeating that, but ultimately you're coming back onto that track and you're going to constantly stay on that. And I think if you overthink it, this is where random other steps will pop up on this blueprint, and before you know it, blueprint like that's now 10 times bigger. And this is where you get confused. You can feel useless. You're not putting in the right amount of effort into the right places. So that's understandable, but use like that timeline as the baseline of your foundation, and replicate something similar for B2B at the same time as well. Yeah,
it's quite, to be fair, and it's a really good blueprint you've got. So I've got a kind of similar one in my head, the way I run everything as well. So first things first, right, what are you going to be called? All right, simple domain name. All right, GoDaddy, other available, but GoDaddy, and then get their professional email to go with it. Let's call it Alex's Eco Products, all right? Then I'm going to get the email, Alex Eco Products email. Cool, right, warm that email up, all right? Because we want to make sure if we're going to start sending emails, we want to make sure we're not going to junk or spam. It needs to go into the inbox. Cool. LinkedIn, all right? If you've already got LinkedIn because of your day job, all right, create a new one with the Alex Eco email, the brand new one, and then just hide it. So under visibility settings, hide it. So then none of your existing employer or work, whatever, will see it. So that then you can then connect with whoever you want and you get away with it, basically. Cool. Start then posting content on your LinkedIn. Credibility, like I said earlier, credibility is key. How we become credible fast, that's what we want. So start and post content on LinkedIn. What, where, why, who, how. Okay, who is it or the problem? Okay, who has got your problem and what's the solution? Where can people find it? Why should people use you? What is the solution to the problem? Simple topics. And then from there, all right, you then start emailing companies, see what they say. Basic simple template, all right. First bit, subject heading, hook, like any marketing, and then it's basically explaining who you are and what your problem is, what the solution to the problem is. Okay, you send that out to 1,000 emails, all right. Loads of places you can get emails from. LinkedIn has been one of them, but yeah, loads of places. Send that out. Out of that 1,000 or how many you send out, okay, you then look at that, you analyze the data, right, how many replies did I get? If you got none, okay, that will tell you something. That's either they're just not wanting to reply to you for whatever reason, or they're just you're still going into junk. And there are systems you can check for that. But and then from there, it's basically, right, if you get replies and they're positive, and when I say positive, they could just be sample requests, or they could just be, oh, sounds interesting, send me more, send me a brochure. If you get 10 or 15 of them, you go, okay, I'm onto something here. Now I'm going to get the brand done. Now I'm going to set up the business. Now I'm going to get a store or websites created.
Smart idea.
Because the last thing you want to do is spend months and months setting up a business. You then start approaching the market, no one wants your product. So I test aggressively first of the basics need doing. Canva, get a simple logo, email signature. That's all you need in Canva. Start sending emails out and see what people say. You'll know quite quickly if it's something that people want. As soon as you know that, you're onto something. That's when you can then take a step back, register everything, make sure you look even more credible, because businesses will do their background checks. And then, that's the blueprint I follow for every single B2B business I do.
You had to write it down for me after we end this.
Yes, no worries.
Perfect. But even with that, like, nice simple process. Testing, you get a bit of the proof, right, let's go the next step. And constant. So that's what I mean, that there's no need to overcomplicate it. And I think if you overthink stuff, and look, it's easily done at the same time as well, especially you got to think, like, to us, we've done this for forever. For somebody else, it's like, this is all new. They're learning and doing it at the same time. So you're always going to have that thought, am I doing it right? Do I need to do this as well? You can venture off somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's very easily to get easily done to complicate things.
100%. And from a B2B standpoint, if you get replies, oh, what did I do different? Oh, was it a certain niche that I changed, or did I change the wording in the emails? It could be as simple as that. I remember when I first ran ads for my Bali travel business back in 2018.
I remember that.
No, 2016, sorry. I was running ads, getting nowhere. And I tweaked it and I changed in the search interest. I don't even know if you can do this anymore. I put loads of universities in because that's who I thought our target audience was. Also got a sell. And then I thought, oh shit, I finally got a sell. It's £1,500 someone's paid for a one-off trip to Bali. Right. Take a step back. What did I do different? I put universities in. So I started adding more. I Googled all the universities in the UK and copy and pasted every single one in the Facebook interests. And then all of a sudden the sales started coming through. The same with B2B. Right, what did you do different? Oh, you put this search criteria on LinkedIn. Well, if that works, why put more time and effort into doing more? And that's definitely something is learn from not only your mistakes, but also what you've done well.
That's it, yeah. So I think his podcasts have been, it's meant to be, the ways of failing at business. We kind of flipped it on
and given you a blueprint.
The more of the blueprint. We'll consider the title on this one. We'll put pendant. But I think, it's basically the overall of this podcast is like, we understand it's scary to get started.
And it's hard.
It's hard to get started. It's a fairly simple process. It makes it simpler if you've got the correct circle, meaning experts, support, the training, the education, get all of that in-house and, follow the simple blueprints. If you come off a little bit, an issue, an obstacle, or you do something wrong, you've got the team, the experts to help you get back on track, and we keep going. And as long as you're consistent, persistent, and you keep at it, there's not much room for failure. And I think, you'll get obstacles and failures are, I would say, two completely things. I would call something a failure if I'd put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money into something and then didn't work out how I thought in my head and I just quit. I'm just like, oh, it didn't work. I've been running ads for a month. I'm giving up. I'm going to try something else. And I repeat that process. To me, that is someone failing. They're not doing well.
One of the biggest deals that a member's done in B2B was a Wetherspoons deal for over 250K. And that was on the 6th email he sent to that. So he didn't give up. And I always say, look, give up if you feel like you're harassing or they tell you to do one. But under the 6th one, they replied.
That's incredible.
And that's a good example, and probably a good one to leave it on, is it's the mindset. Definitely a mindset thing.
100%, yeah. Don't take no for an answer. In certain circumstances.
No, awesome. I enjoyed that one, Reece.
That was good. Appreciate it, Alex. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.